What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another NFL draft video. So this is going to be just a quick reflection on the first round of the NFL draft that took place last night. I'm just going to go through these rather quickly. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. We have the second and third round tonight. I may check those out, maybe for like the first few picks. Definitely like not a stream or anything like that. But anyway, so obviously the first two picks, the first three, but the first two, I really don't have much to say. Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, Zach Wilson to the Jets. Both kind of like by the book kind of picks. I mean, there really was no argument there. Really, I didn't really see them going any which way. Jaguars, obviously, I think they have a really good situation with Trevor Lawrence. They went out and they got a proven veteran pass catcher in Marvin Jones. He's at this stage in his career, he's going to be that guaranteed guy to go across the middle, kind of like more like a security blanket for Lawrence. They also got DJ Chark, who's a great athlete who has a lot of upside. And Marvin Jones, of course, will take some of the pressure off of him. Only thing I don't really like about Jacksonville's offense right now, I could be wrong. I don't think their tight end situation's all that great. They can obviously answer it here in the draft, but I'm not sure how deep this tight end class is. As far as Zach Wilson goes, I feel like he's got a lot to prove, and it's kind of unfortunate that he's going to the Jets, but it is what it is, and you got to rebuild somewhere, and they've already got a pretty decent offensive line. Like I'll show you, you'll see that their offensive line is getting better, and so we'll see what happens. They really need to get him some help, but the third overall pick, Trey Lance going to the 49ers. Now everybody is jumping out of their seats saying this is amazing. This is going to be great. He doesn't have to start right away because Jimmy Garoppolo could, win, the starting job since Trey hasn't played a game in like almost 2 years, or almost 2 years rather. So, but I feel like this is like one of those. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a very, very high reward if they're right. But it's extremely risky, in my opinion. So, I'm not trying to take anything away from Trey Lance. Obviously, we've seen incredible players in college doing amazing things, and then they come to the NFL and they just never live up to those same expectations. And nothing really says it more than quarterbacks. We can't expect every single one of these quarterbacks to be like the next greatest quarterback in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. And I'm even saying that about Trevor Lawrence. Everybody's a rookie. Everybody's year one. They got to prove it to all of us. But Trey Lance is probably in the best situation to succeed, and we'll see if he actually measures up. I don't like seeing players fail. It sucks, especially like high picks like this. But I just don't see. I mean, sure, he had that one amazing year at North Dakota State, mind you. I just didn't see enough work, especially for a guy like him who's missed 16 months of actual football. Like, hasn't played a game in 16 months. Like, that's huge. That's huge. So we'll see how it translates to the field. Of course, he may not even start. If the 49ers trade Garoppolo, I'd be like, wow. I would be really surprised. 4 was Kyle Pitts to the Falcons. I'm honestly not a fan of this. I feel like the Falcons are like right on that doorstep of full rebuild mode. Matt Ryan is at the end of his career. His best years, in my opinion, he could prove me wrong, but his best years, like when I'm talking like Pro Bowl, Super Bowl level years, I feel like are behind him. And Julio Jones obviously isn't gonna. I mean, every year he's injured. It just seems like every year he's dealing with the same type of injury, an ankle, foot injury that he has to play through. I'm not saying that this isn't going to be a high-powered offense, but I'm just like, they really had so many holes on defense that they could have addressed, and they just didn't. They went with a tight end, and at number 4, I mean, that's ridiculous to be drafting a tight end. I know he's a freak athlete and all that stuff, but again, how many times it's the draft. I'm just talking out. We're all just talking out of our ass right at this point. We don't know anything until these guys step on the actual football field week 1. But in this day and age, I feel like it's a lot easier for tight ends to be successful, regardless of athleticism. I mean, come on, look at how many tight ends have we seen just come out of nowhere and just be successful because of the evolution of the passing game in this league, and of course rules and stuff like that. I personally would have gone defense. If it were me, I would have gotten like a corner, or maybe I know the defensive line and linebackers weren't very deep, but there were plenty of corners they could have gotten to kind of solidify that secondary, because I can't even name any corners that are on the Falcons roster right now. I used to know almost the entire secondary, but I don't anymore. The Bengals, in my opinion, Ja'Marr Chase, don't get me wrong, he was the best wide receiver prospect in the draft, but I think this was just a big mistake, because last time I checked, Ja'Marr Chase never played left tackle. Last time I checked, he never blocked for a quarterback. So I really don't know how Burrow is going to get him the ball when he's running for his life every single play. And everybody's going to be like, oh, when you got wide receivers like that, you just need a couple seconds. I'm like, I get that argument, but look at some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and look at the organizations that have mistreated them by not giving them proper protection. Look at Andrew Luck. You look at Russell Wilson. You look at Deshaun Watson. And Watson and Russell Wilson have had it a little bit. They've been able to manage because of their athleticism. But even Russell Wilson is starting to show like his age. He's not he's not young. He's not that young right now, and he can't. I don't think he can move as much. And he's been taking a beating. And having to run for his life. Andrew Luck, because of the front office mismanagement and horrible drafting, forced that poor guy to retire early. And I just feel like the Bengals were just looking to please their fans, because let's face it, drafting an offensive tackle at 5, that's not a sexy pick. But if you look, literally 2 spots later, Penei Sewell was fucking drafted. I'm cursing already. Penei Sewell was drafted, and I'm to the Lions. I know I kind of jumped ahead here, but I'm making a point. Like the Bengals, this is just like a curse. Like they're not going to get the best out of Burrow if they can't protect him. That's just my opinion. I don't care if they played together at LSU. It don't matter. It does not matter. So yeah, terrible decision, but a great player. Horrible situation to make that pick, in my opinion, at this point in your franchise. So next one is the Miami Dolphins at 6, picking Jalen Waddle. Excellent pick for the Dolphins, grabbing a wide receiver just to throw into the mix for Tua. You already have Devontae Parker. You got a speedster and Jakeem Grant. I don't even know if he's still on the team, but speed is always valuable in the NFL. You got Mike Gesicki, who's a valuable target. So this just makes it easier for Tua. Then, of course, what I just mentioned, the Detroit Lions at 7, taking Penei Sewell. They got Jared Goff now, and Goff doesn't like pressure, so they got to protect him in order for him to make plays. It kind of sucks. The Lions were between a rock and a hard place. They need receivers, and they need to protect their quarterback, and you can't have them both in the first round for the Lions. So they actually went how I thought the Bengals should have went. And the Lions are in even a worse spot than the Bengals when it comes to skill positions. And the Lions still had the mental fortitude to say, no, we need to protect our quarterback. We need to rebuild on the offensive line because, let's face it, games are won in the trenches. I know it's an age-old saying, but it's true. It's true. After that, the Carolina Panthers made a great pick, in my opinion, J.C. Horn. This is something that they've been needing to do for a couple of years, is solidify the spot that Josh Norman had in his prime. I was never a huge Josh Norman fan. I just think he fit perfectly in that defense. And the Panthers picking up J.C. Horn, I thought was great. I've heard people saying, "Oh, they had their pick between the quarterbacks. They could have got Justin Fields." It's like, dude, they made the trade for Darnold and traded Bridgewater for a damn reason. Okay, they're going to roll with Darnold. There's no point in drafting a quarterback when you have many other holes to fill. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. I said this in my free agency video. I feel like Sam Darnold is going to play well for the Panthers. I said it. He's going to play well for the Panthers. I believe it. And all of these dumb, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say dumb. All of these quote unquote experts saying that Darnold is crap because Jets. No, the Jets did not give Darnold anything to work with, and their coaching staff was horrible. But I believe that if Matt Rule can get production like out of Bridgewater and PJ Walker, because I think PJ Walker started a game. I feel like he can definitely get production out of Darnold. And Darnold isn't like a statue. He can move. So I'm excited to see the Panthers this year. So the Denver Broncos, I did not see this coming. They take Patrick Surtain II. Probably he was a better DB. I feel like he's a better DB than J.C. Horn. But I feel like this is all scheme. You know what I mean? What they're trying to do on defense. And I feel like teams obviously make these picks like corner for a reason. And so the Denver Broncos take Surtain, however you pronounce it. And I'm a big fan of that pick. Again, they had questions too, but this solidifies that they're rolling with either Bridgewater or Drew Lock. So it's make or break time for Drew Lock. And Bridgewater, at the very least, could be a stopgap solution. So then the Eagles traded up with Dallas. I think them and Dallas swapped spots, and they took Devontae Smith. And personally, I mean, this is like Deshaun Jackson 2.0. You know, like in the NFL, I feel like you need wide receivers that can do more than run a 9. You know what I mean? You look at the best year Philadelphia had, it was when they had complete receivers that could run the entire route tree. And, and of course they had Zach Ertz at his best, and the defense was playing well. But, I mean, it was Alshon Jeffrey. It was the Alshon Jeffrey show in the postseason. So Jeffrey's on his way out, I believe, if he's not already out. Deshaun Jackson's gone. They have Jalen Reagor, who, didn't show up at all really last year. And now they go with Devontae Smith from Alabama, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, if you plan on running 9s, I mean, good luck protecting your quarterback. This is for one. Because their offensive line is pretty much in a transitional period. Like, it seems like it's been like that for like the past couple of seasons. So, not saying Devontae Smith isn't a good receiver, but he's not a number. I don't see him as a number 1. He could prove me wrong, like always, but like I feel like he's just gonna be one of those same receivers you see, like Brandon Cooks, Deshaun Jackson. They're situational guys. They serve like a specific purpose on the team. So I'll leave it at that. The Chicago Bears trading up with from the Giants, and they got Justin Fields. And good on the Bears getting a quarterback. I feel bad for Justin Fields because he's going to the Bears and he's going to a terrible offense. But at least he has someone to work with, like Allen Robinson, who can run every route and go up and get the ball. Because trust me, Justin Fields is going to need that. I said this in my other video a couple days ago that I did not feel that Justin Fields was better than Mac Jones on a passing standpoint. Athletically, he is a much better quarterback than Mac Jones. But I broke down the numbers. You can check out that video. We'll see how it works in Chicago. Chicago hasn't really had a quarterback like Justin Fields ever in their history. The closest they got, obviously, was Trubisky, and that failed miserably. Then Dallas, after they literally, swap spots with Philly, they grabbed Micah Parsons. I think this is a great pick for them. They had a lot of holes on defense they needed to fill, and they needed someone to team up with Leighton Vander Esch, and I think him and Parsons are they're gonna be a force. So that was a great pick for them. Then the Chargers take Rashawn Slater, excellent pick. Then the Jets traded up with Minnesota, which I was kind of shocked. And they take Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. Solid pick, shoring up that offensive line. They already got Mekhi Becton, I think. Mekhi Becton, that was his name from last year. You got this guy at guard. He also played tackle a little bit, which was really, it's always good to have a versatility like that. Then the pick of the night, in my opinion, New England getting Mac Jones. I'm a Mac Jones fan. I think he was. I didn't value him higher than Trevor Lawrence, but I valued him higher than every other quarterback. He was my number 2 on this list, and I'm just like shocked that everybody was just trashing this dude. When I say trashing, I don't mean they were like, saying he wasn't worth a first round pick, but I'm just saying like they weren't giving him enough credit. I broke down the numbers, and I think in New England, even if he doesn't start right away, I feel like, it's just the luckiest break in the world for the Patriots and Belichick. And what was hilarious is that I think the Patriots had the quickest pick of the night. It was instant. It was instant. That pick was in almost after 60 seconds or something like that. They knew right away who they were grabbing, and I can't believe he fell to the Patriots. And I feel like the entire NFL they're gonna rue the day that they let Mac Jones fall to the Patriots. Then next, Arizona Cardinals take Zaven Collins. Again, I don't know too much about this Collins cat. His film looked okay. It looked pretty good. Obviously, they show you the best parts, but the Cardinals, I feel like they had some other positions they could have gone, but they didn't, and they went defense at linebacker, and it's not a terrible pick. We'll see. Then the Raiders grab Alex Leatherwood. I was saying this in my offseason video. The Raiders made all those trades for a reason. They have a number of people that they think are going to be better than the ones they had now in this draft, and they believe that they can get them, and this is one of them. I feel like this is going to work out for them. I have full faith in John Gruden, believe it or not. Then the Dolphins come out and they get Jalen Phillips, defensive end / outside linebacker, I guess. I hate this edge. I hate this. I hate how they changed it. It's either an outside linebacker or a defensive end. Stop this whole edge crap. It's stupid. But the Dolphins having 2 picks in general is awesome, and they did it perfectly. A need on offense, a need on defense. So beautifully done by Miami. They are going to be a powerhouse in the next few years if they keep doing what they're doing. They're doing things great, in my opinion. Washington, name redacted. Get a black mark and just scratch it out. Jamin Davis. I don't know much about him, but he's a linebacker, and honestly, they needed to shore up that position. Then the Giants picked Kadarius Toney, or is it Tony? I think it's Tony. Wide receiver for Florida. Solid pick. They needed more depth at wide receiver, give Daniel Jones some more weapons to work with. The Colts grabbing Kwity Paye. I feel like they could have gone offensive line, but we'll see. They really needed to. I feel like they really needed to go O-line, but I'm not a GM, so. Then the Titans grabbed Caleb Farley for at defensive back. Good pick. I don't know. Again, I don't know much about this kid, but they needed obviously help in the secondary. The Vikings take Christian Darrisaw. It's like, hallelujah. They finally take an offensive lineman that should work for them. And honestly, everybody was saying Darrisaw should have gone to the Colts, but he fell to the Vikings, and that's really lucky for them. The Steelers take Najee Harris, which is really interesting because like this is 2 years in a row. Because wasn't Benny Snell, or is that who it was that they drafted last year? Was he first or second round? I can't even remember. Anyway, Najee Harris, running back, it really makes you wonder how much faith they have in James Conner. So we'll see. Then Jacksonville Jaguars get another pick here. They draft Travis Etienne. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know. I suck at pronouncing names sometimes. But a former teammate though of Trevor Lawrence. So this is good. Get some correlation there. The Browns grabbed a DB like I figured they would. Greg Newsome the second. Ravens grabbed Rashad Bateman at 27. Solid pick for them. Now this is it, man. This is it. This is the big target that Lamar Jackson has been lacking. You know, Dez Bryant obviously didn't work out. You know, but he was in the twilight of his career. So they get Rashad Bateman, and it's either Bateman is a success or he's not. And you know, this is like it's either Bateman's the receiver and Lamar is maybe not there yet as a passer, or it's the other way around. So this is it, man. Like Lamar's got to show up now. Like it's great that he can run all over the place, but that's not going to win you games forever, as we saw in the past postseason. If you don't have dependable receivers that you can go to in the clutch, it's not going to work out. Again, Hollywood Brown's great for running nines, but you know you can't trust him to go over the middle and get that ball on third down. You know, unless he's wide the hell open. So Rashad Bateman, big target for Lamar. Well, this is the test. This is it. This is make or break time for the Ravens for their offense. The Saints grab Peyton Turner, defensive end. Good pick. They got to try and replace the production from Trey Hendrickson, who had a breakout year. The Packers continuing to do their best to piss off Aaron Rodgers. They grab Eric Stokes, a defensive back. I don't know why. They could have gone literally any other direction. The Bills grabbed Greg Rousseau, outside linebacker for Miami. Good, I guess. More defensive firepower for them. And the Ravens getting another pick in the first round, which is great. They do good, the best. Offensive need, defensive need. Jason Owe from Penn State, another outside linebacker. And then finally, wrapping it all up, the champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, grabbing Joe Tryon. It's another rusher right there, and that is the first round. And these last few picks, I didn't really care. This one really pissed me off. And I'm like, Aaron Rodgers deserves so much better than what Green Bay's doing to them. They refuse to spend money in the offseason. They refuse to draft right. They just suck at everything. And Aaron Rodgers is the only thing keeping that franchise afloat. So, Aaron, get your ass out of Green Bay and find a team that will actually work for you. Outside of that, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you all later.